Hello, good afternoon. We are just stepping into the afternoon now on Tuesday. I don't know what date it is. The energy is just too high to try and possibly figure out what date it actually is in April. So just welcome. And welcome to this amazing energy. You know, we knew back in March, we had some warnings about the kind of energy that was going to start arriving in April and how it was going to start ramping up. And it truly is. I mean, it's even the sort of most closed off people can't help but notice that things are shifting hugely in this beautiful world of ours. And it's not stopping yet. You know, we are only just beginning to realize how much needs to shift. Hello, Lorraine, and hi, Harry and Flash. I have to say Flash, Harry. It's the correct way to say it. I'm so glad you're here with me. But yeah, it's we are just starting to realize how much of this world is wrong, has been built up in the wrong way, and the structures just need taking down. And April is truly showing us this. And it's giving us an inkling, a clue of what kind of thing could be coming to this world, what kind of joy, what kind of immense, wonderful, powerful, loving, kind, glorious energies that are coming. But not only that, I'm being reminded of what we are capable of. What we as human beings are actually capable of in this world. We're extraordinary. We are the most beautiful, gifted, wonderful, kind, loving souls carried in this body. And it is time for us to start exploring and start dreaming and I mean really dream, not just dream of something, little thing that you'd like. I mean really dreaming of an incredible world that we can build, of our incredible opportunities that lie ahead of us. It's exciting. But we do have to keep letting go of all the old. Hello, Anne. It's lovely to have you here. We have to keep letting go of all the old stuff, of all the old ways of thinking about ourselves, our ways of interacting with this world. I was reminded really powerfully, I can't remember what show I was watching, and somebody said to another person, "Is that what you think?" And it's kind of like, no. And said, "Well, what do you really want to say?" And this person came out and said what they really thought. And it was a bit mind-blowing, but like, whoa, hang on. We're actually allowed to stand up and say precisely what we feel, because we don't. When was the last time you really just opened your heart and said, well, I want to say this? We don't, because we've been so scared of being shot down, scared of being blamed, of being told that we're wrong, that we're mad, that we're crazy, whatever it is. And so we sort of keep a lid on everything. And this is what we've been doing our entire lives, our entire existences here on Earth in this 3D world. We've been keeping a lid on our dreams, on our passions, on our expressions, on our hopes, on everything. We've just shut it down, put a lid on it and said, no, it doesn't really matter. And we have pretended to be somebody smaller, weaker, more powerless, more shut down, less loving, less engaged than the real person that we are, less than who we know we are, who we have dreamed about. This time has got to end. And it is time for us to really open up and step in to just the most incredible beings that we are. And we don't believe it. We just don't believe that this is us. and making that change, crossing that bridge from our small thinking into this massively expansive, incredible energy that we really are, it can be rough, because we have to throw aside everything that we ever once believed about ourselves. But we're stepping into something beautiful. We don't need to fear it, but we do. We fear. We actually become scared of stepping into all of our power. And that is kind of crazy. We fear stepping forward into self-love. We fear letting go of our pain. And it's just all training. It's just old training. It's we kind of want to be more dog. Dog says, I want. Dog gets. They don't feel guilt. They don't feel shame in asking for what they want. They just kind of go, that's what I want. And this is kind of how we need to be, a little bit more accepting of our desires, accepting of what it is that we want and the passion that actually resides in our heart. We are terrified of passion. We're terrified of having dreams because they've always been crushed. Well, now we've got to start dreaming big, really, really big. Yeah. So, as usual, I had to write stuff down because I forget. That's part of this letting go of the 3D structure, is just forgetting who we were, who we used to be. And I look back, and years ago I used to keep diaries when I first started in my 20s on this whole sort of mass healing journey. And a few years ago I looked back at them, and I didn't recognise myself. I looked and I thought, who is this person? Who is this person who talks about hurting herself, who hated herself so much and was looking for something brighter? Who was she? And I look at all that time I wasted hating myself. And the one thing that I was grateful for, that I really did have, is that I wrote from my heart. I wrote what I felt. There were no barriers. There was nothing that stopped me actually writing and expressing the deep, deep pain that I felt about being a human being here at this time. And going back and reading this is what I took from it. I didn't recognize the person anymore, but I thought that freedom to express was ever so important. And it is this freedom to express that this Pisces Stellium is bringing back to us. This freedom to just stand up and be ourselves. So, as I was saying, part of that was about time as well, but never mind, we'll move on. So, what is a Pisces Stellium? I had to look this stuff up because I just didn't know. It is when a whole cluster of planets actually sit within one star sign. And from what I gather, we have Jupiter, Neptune, Venus, the Moon, Mars, and the asteroid Juno are all going to be in Pisces. Wow, that's a hell of a lot. Oh, let me just turn my laptop off because it made noise. As someone described it, it's like a massive pile-up of energy just crashing into one sign. And the effect is enormous. And what it's doing, again, I love this phrase, it sends our hearts into overdrive. So if you're feeling love, you feel an overwhelm of love. If you are feeling dreamy and hopeful, it's a massive sense of feeling dreamy and hopeful. It's a beautiful energy, because Pisces is this sign that carries all the other energy of all the other signs. It is intuitive and psychic. And imagine all this just coming into there. It is totally, utterly wrapped up in our feelings. So a lot of people talk about romance, about love, and yeah, that's there. Because the one thing that we seem to have in life, the one thing we always seem to be looking for is romance. No, we think romance is going to be the cure-all and it's going to end all our pains and everything. And once we've found romance, life's going to be amazing. No, it's not how it works. Romance doesn't take the place of self-love. Romance doesn't take the place of listening to our own hearts and going into that passion. It just doesn't. This is about us. Okay? Yes, our relationships come into it, but it is about us. So this stellium is giving us a really, really clear focus, a direct line into what it is, that we want. Hi, Lorraine. So I think it's connection we seek. Yeah, absolutely. But the most important connection is always with ourselves. This is vital. We have become so separated from our soul journey, from everything that we are, that we believe we're just this physical body. So we so need to come back in and reconnect with this, with the center of our being, with everything that we are. This is the true connection. And when we connect with ourselves, we are actually connecting via our soul with the cosmos, with the universe, and with all the incredible divine energy that is piling into us. So everything starts right here. This idea that, I can just call in universal energy. Yeah, you can. But unless you allow it to connect with you and connect with your heart and with your soul, it's not going to bring you what you need. So this is absolutely so important. So we are looking for, in this stellium, a deeper relationship with ourselves, a deeper relationship with our hearts, with what we want, with our dreams, with our hopes. And the last 2 years have taken away so many dreams. If you look back and you think, okay, the dreams that people have nowadays is, I dream of going on holiday, I dream of working from the office. It can be the tiniest things. 2 years ago, before we started, we had bigger dreams. People looked at their lives and went, this is the dream that I have. And through all the fear and the panic, that disappeared. Well, it's time to really connect with those dreams again. It's time to remember what it was that you wanted, to build on that, to expand it even more, and not to put aside your dreams as something that is silly. Yes, we are all incredibly grateful for who we are and where we are in this lifetime, but it doesn't mean that we ignore our greater and deeper passions. This is the rise of this stellium. So it's a focus on creativity, a focus on dreaming, a focus on romancing ourselves, spending time with that, with us. Time to really invest in passion projects, to really just, invest in our dreams. And it doesn't mean that immediately these dreams are going to come true. It can be a while before that comes. We have a lot of highs and lows and roller coasters still to come through in April. But this is where we start. We might crash one day, but then we pick ourselves up and go, hey, that dream is still there. This isn't just a switch that is flicked. We have really got to invest in ourselves. Oh, this is an incredible conjunction. This stellium occurs once every 150 years. There have been so many events recently, astrological events, that haven't occurred in hundreds of years. And they're all happening this year. They're all happening now. This is not a coincidence. This is our time, our sign. So we need to embrace them, fully embrace them. It's time to really come back into our own bodies, into our own dreams. And somebody wrote beautifully, to come out of the pandemic era disassociation. Like I said, it is reconnecting with us, with our hearts, with our souls, with our dreams. A time of cinematic vision. Oh, wow. Spectacular fantasies. We have so far kept our dreams very 3D, very earth-based, because we haven't been able to dream outside of survival mode. Now is the time to dream bigger than survival mode. Now is the time to dream of all those things that that we never quite thought were possible. You know, I'm being told, look back to the, 1910, 1920, even the 1890s, and these people started dreaming about visiting the moon. They started dreaming about alien races. This carried on throughout the 50s, the 60s. Look at all these films. Where did these people get this information from? What was their inspiration? They just said, I've got this feeling and I'm going to build a dream out of it. And people may have thought, oh, this is all a bit crazy. What are they thinking? But look where it led to. Man dreamed about visiting the moon. They dreamed about aliens. They dreamed about going to space. And we landed on the moon. It may have taken 100 years since we first started dreaming, but we did it. They dreamed outside of survival mode. They dreamed outside of their limited life. And this is us. We can no longer just dream based in 3D. We want to dream of 5D. We want to dream even bigger than that. We want to dream outside of what we've ever experienced in life, and not say, oh, but it doesn't work. Oh, but that couldn't happen. That's just the ego. We want to dream so enormous, so big. And then, who knows? In a year's time, in 10 years, in 100 years, in 1,000 years, this is where we start. Never put aside your power to dream, ever. So yeah, this wonderful cinematic vision. And time to let your heart speak. Time to allow your heart to say what it needs to say. If you're speaking from your heart, you won't be cruel. It'll be beautiful. Time to engage. Okay. So I also had a look at the cards, as I do. And I'm really drawn to use this pack at the moment, the Work Your Light. Every time I pull a card, it is so accurate. It just speaks directly to my heart. And so I wondered, what do you want to say today? And the first card, trust your path. Precisely that. Trust what it is that your heart wants. Trust that when you follow your heart, you are simply led onto the right path. Don't worry about how things will happen. Don't look at the minute details, because when we look at the minute details, all that happens is we get so caught up in the specifics, in the technicalities of how something is going to happen. And that actually crushes the dream. When we just think, this is my dream, and that's where I'm going, and I feel it's my path, it'll happen. It'll happen because you haven't looked at any blocks. You know, the technicalities, the details, these are the blocks that we put in. When we just throw it out there and say, hey, you know what? What's going to happen is going to happen. The universe will construct the path. The universe will construct our way forward. We simply have to open our hearts, throw ourselves in, and allow our path to unfold before us, so you can trust in it. Keep that dream going. And the second card, the Great Gathering. The great gathering of love, the great gathering of our hearts. And what I see beautifully across the world is people coming together once again in community to help support each other. And this is what it is. Previously, if you wanted to set up a business, you would write your sort of plan of it all. Then you would go off to the bank and you'd say, hello bank, I need a loan for this. And they'd say, oh, what's the risk here? Can we afford to give it to you? What happens if you default? You know, all these massive rules that come in, and it's one person turning around and judging another person's dreams. The Great Gathering to me feels more like the people are coming together and they're saying, well, this is our dream. How do we support each other? Not because of a rule, not because this is the way it should be done, but just because our hearts say that this is where we want to go. So it is all the people supporting each other, lifting each other up, holding them so that they can reach up and they can touch their star. So that they can actually find the way to connect with their light and with their star. And that, for me, is the Great Gathering. It is all these people supporting each other in light and in love, and our soul tribe just coming together as one. And the third card we have is play. Play is passion. Play is dream. Play is hope. You know, you watch children play, and they're so beautiful because they believe fully, wholeheartedly in what they're doing. I remember running around the garden, my mum's with my nieces, and we were pretending that we couldn't see one of the children. And we're running around the gardens, looking in the bushes, going, well, where is she? Where could she have gone? And it was so joyful because every single one of us, me included, I let my child come out. Sorry, excuse me. Happens when I cry. I just totally and utterly threw myself into it, and I felt like I was this great fun kid just running around the garden, really believing in myself that I couldn't see one of my nieces. It was fantastic, and we giggled and we screamed with laughter, and we just had so much fun because we were celebrating being alive. You know, we were celebrating just the sheer joy of being human and being in that moment. And it's like when children have a tea party and they're pouring imaginary tea, they taste it. How did the cake taste? How did that imaginary cake taste? They'll tell you all the flavours. They'll tell you how gooey it was. They will describe the flavour of the jam or the icing. They just so fully believe in their dreams. There are no blocks. And this is where we need to go. Where we want to go is stop believing in the blocks. Stop seeing the blocks to your dreams. Stop seeing the supposed truth of this 3D world. You know, sometimes when I talk to people about this and they say, oh, but humans will never do this. Yeah, we will. Peace will never come. Look, there's a war over there. A war manufactured by a few people. We can change all that. Humans have learnt to look at the blocks. They've learnt to look at how closed the path is. But today, the peak of this Pisces Stellium, and it's not over yet, this is the day to look at the dream, to focus on the dream. Not the blocks, not the closed paths ahead, not the lies. To focus purely on the hopes and the dreams of what we, as a community, as humanity, as children of Gaia, as light beings, as creations of the amazing creator energy, what is it that we can create? Let's dream. And let's dream big. Big. Really, really, hugely, enormously big. Right? We can do it together. So, settle in. Settle down. There is an energy rising, coming from my core star, rising up through my heart. And I'm going to allow this energy to keep rising up through my throat. The language of light, the language of love. And I want you to just relax back and allow these incredibly powerful and beautiful creative beings that are surrounding us now to just work with you. I feel like I have this chorus behind me just saying we're with you, and they are so proud. They are so proud of every human, of every dream, of every eye that opens to see more. Just close your eyes and breathe into this energy. I simara ne mokai, tinirshwata, adina, ameadi mananimo, adimana monana monakimor kabewa. O wissimus che otorushibasi, smakada, dadamia, naramadamaka, mia, daramadamaka, kamakashkika. As was the Hasinia Karashi, Kitsikita, the Barakishkimusaka. Ajwazada, na mia no do crepara carequintarskessi, simix casquismietskemesketska, taskemisitskatsatikis, oh, swinania, jokitakamantagashkabaradia, the megabandi, the rimesa, the moraja. Smora Ketaraji, Kissasia, Sakatapatana, Marakarabarakish, Kuskusi, Sukusukia, Smithkisma, Smazavas, Samasikim, Samazimixabanamazakaza, Smazapazakat, Patakadokushkis, Simsakama, Smazapazakamanakarabarakish, Simskimizat, Simskavata, Topaki, Simazakazat, Smiskazat, with the Kim Semiada, I'm a six some massage Huisiksabasia, Nanashwasia, Amazawazia, Nakasavia, Amizamayata Capsia, Samasamasia, Samasamia, I wish Samasia. What Samia Wasinia, Sankia, Samaziasia. Asabasia, I was a sia, I was a gamia, Sabasia, some Amiata, she wish, she mujikitasi, some mea. Masawazaya, Ranyakarashi, some mushkasa, some mazia, some mazawasi, 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 zawasi, 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 asamia, adimaraziada, ameshia. Uyashiania, sayara kiata, some mujavasia, tayashka vashia. Weyimura, rekia danakushesia, sa wejoa, sia wajia, sa wajibasi, Maria Darakamia, tawa, with your keasia, Mayawa, Nawa, Inekea, Wishisasia. We have been grounded for too long in the reality of this earth. But it was not in reality, it was in darkness. We are Yemoya, we are Moya, Yemoya, Maya, we are Moya, Emoya, Amawajia, Amawajia, Maya, Wayawaja, Wisiwashika, Doki, Ashamia, the Warewa, Imuki, Wasinia, Sawia, Maya, Watarigoja, Toshkisi, some more, Nojikita, Jesua. Muta, she was sick, so was sick, she was sick, she was sick, she wanted the dog, she was sick, the word is just outside. A week, Madaraja, ice kiss, sick motor, swa, yata, catamia. I wish ki, we yikits, such a good shit, so wicked. Mudarishkesi, some mother jishi, so wishiski, she was ishiki, she was isquash, she was isko, Suzuki, so wish Moajana, I tata yemia. How on earth can a flower grow to fully express itself in the sun when it is growing out of a black, thick tar that is all designed to stop the roots from going down into Gaia so that we can blossom fully as the magnificent, beautiful tree that we are. It was always impossible because you can't rise up out of such a thick and heavy way. Now we have a chance because the tar has been totally infused with light, and we have allowed ourselves to step out of the basis from which we have always found, in which we've always found ourselves, and now we stand on the earth, on the light of Mother Earth, and from this we can then reach high, we can reach low into the ground, we can connect to above and below, and then from this we rise and we dream, and from this we can reach up with our branches to the stars, and as the light comes in through us, we become the star living here on earth. This is why it is important now to dream of being once again the magnificent human that we always were. Musara nechushki, mojara ditiski, swe nara nima, ina maiki, inuk, way, uita mada dikira, kudara shiki, mastada, niwa dikina, mutarniki shwete. Deisha saka namata aya naina nama ikno kunate shit kishis the shis swishy. We are not doing this alone, as the love of the light beings is so close now. The veil is so thin that we can actually work now. Each one of us is actually a community within ourselves. Each one of us is our guides, our angels, our light beings, our cosmic self. Each one of us carries within so much energy, so many light beings. We are each legion. We are each the life of 1,000 billion stars. This is us. All we have to do is recognize that this light that we carry inside of us is everything that we need. It is us. And from this state, as we dream, we create. I want you to go and dream and create. I want you to go and expand, grow into this beautiful tree that I saw. It is the tree of life. We are each the tree of life. This separation between us and the universe. Dream of it ending. Dream of being all the light guides, all the angels. It is all within us. It is all us. I hope that makes sense. It was so hard to describe. But just to say that everything we need now for our future is already here. We carry it. All we have to do is remove the blocks to actually engaging with that part of ourself. It is within you. Oh, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, Lorraine. And I hope you rise with this energy. and that you can dream. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll be back for the full moon, a beautiful pink moon. And as ever, if you wish to give an exchange, you are more than welcome. There is no pressure. But if you wish, it is accepted with heartfelt thanks and gratitude. I send you so much love and light blessings for now, for tomorrow, and for this journey through eternity.